Now, our next scholar is Kate Stahl. Now, Kate participates in D groups, NHS, and varsity lacrosse, and outside the school, she likes to spend time with friends and reading. Now, Kate is researching the psychological effect of physician-assisted suicide on patients, families, and physicians, specifically legal aspects of this topic. Good luck, Kate.
This is Ida and Isidore Strauss. Now, while you may not recognize them, I'm sure you've heard their story. In 1912, Ida and Isidore decided to board the world's most unsinkable ship. Well, unfortunately, that ship started to sink. But instead of trying to find a lifeboat or cling to a life jacket, Ida and Isidore decided to die like this, holding hands in bed with their loved one. Now, this is Charlie and Francie Emmerich. Charlie and Francie have been married for 66 years. It's a pretty long time. And although they may look like a happy, healthy couple, there's a few things that you don't know. Charlie has Parkinson's, prostate cancer, and a weakened heart, while Francie has had multiple heart attacks in the past and is in chronic healthcare condition. So they decided that they would die together, holding hands with dignity. So they got a legal dose of medication from the physician and did just that. Now, I asked why, while both these couples could have tried to strive for life and push through, one is romanticized while the other is condemned. Hi, my name is Kate Stahl, Scholar Class of 2025, and tonight I will be talking about the right to die, the psychology and legality behind physician-assisted suicide. For those of you who don't know, physician-assisted suicide is when a physician either provides a legal dose of medication to help with death or lethally injects a patient in order to assist their death. In order to find out why this is so controversial, especially in the legal field, we must go back to the beginning, back to the Hippocratic Oath. The Hippocratic Oath is an oath that every graduating medical school person must take at graduation. And the most controversial part in this oath is, I will do no harm. How can a physician possibly say that they're doing no harm when they're quite literally assisting someone with their death? Now, to counteract that, there's the doctrine of double effect, which says if something is morally good and has a morally bad side effect, then morally they're okay. For example, if the surgeon is performing on someone and there is a mistake that causes a fatality, he or she cannot be tried for murder. This does get a little tricky though when the intention is to assist a death. Now, if you have heard of any legal cases, it's probably been with this guy, Dr. Jack Kevorkian, otherwise known as Dr. Death. Dr. Death didn't exactly take the right precautions when assisting people's deaths. He took people at their word and assisted over 130 deaths. For this, he was tried for 2 of them and found guilty of second-degree murder. He spent 8 years in prison. Now, Dr. Death gave a really bad negative connotation to this idea of physician-assisted suicide. And in order to prevent something like this from happening again, there's a couple of different treatment plans that have been put in place in multiple countries, one of the most notable being made in Canada, or medical assistance in dying. Medical assistance in dying is a treatment option in Canada where a patient must go through multiple different qualifications in order to be eligible for this treatment. They must have, as of right now, a physical ailment or a terminal illness. They must have multiple doctor's notes from multiple different doctors who have assessed them, and they must be in therapy for at least 2 months before they can make this decision. Now, once they make this decision, they can set a death date and proceed with the assisted death. In the United States, we have something a little similar. It's called the Death with Dignity Act. Now, this act is legal in 20% of the United States, in 10 countries, or 10 states, I'm sorry. And this act has a little bit of stricter precautions on who can have an assisted death. It says that yes, you must be terminally ill, but you also must have a predicted lifespan of only 6 months left. Now, notice the terminology I'm using. Life-ending treatment, physician-assisted suicide, physician-assisted dying. All of these words have different connotations. MAID has always been medical assistance in dying, and is widely accepted in Canada. And death with dignity, up until recently, has always been assisted suicide or active euthanasia, and it is not widely accepted in the United States. Now, for future research, I suggest that researchers look about how different demographics talk about this issue. Different ethnicities, sex, and even social classes. How do they talk about it? Do they talk about it as an assisted suicide or as an assisted death? And does this affect how they feel about this treatment? Now, to close out, I want you to look at this map. All of the white, yellowish area is the area where there's absolutely no legislation on this topic, and that includes Texas. Now, I'm not telling you that assisted dying is right or wrong, ethical or unethical. I'm simply saying that it must be addressed. And I encourage you to walk away from tonight and have those uncomfortable conversations, because sometimes they're the most important. Thank you for your time.